Well. How is everyone? Can you believe it? It's the end of the weekend. And what does that mean? Well, it means that my ads are currently running for the next 30 seconds. I know. Who would expect ads to continue running? But such is life. You know, even though it's been a single day or so since I've actually streamed, it feels weird to do it. I feel like maybe what I need to do is I just need to do it every single day because I feel so thrown off of it every single time. It's like I'm given one day to do nothing and then suddenly I forget how to do it entirely, but otherwise I'm doing pretty okay. How are you guys? Hello, Mr. Brown, and hello, Helios. How are you two? How was your weekend? What did you get up to? And once we've gone over some of the formalities and such, maybe then we can begin discussing a little bit of Spice and Wolf. I'm thinking today that if we want to try and clearly divide the two categories of conversation, maybe I start playing Peglin for like 50% or 70% of the stream, and then we can do a little bit of RimWorld at the end of it, because I do want to try some of the features that I've set up for it. I did my shopping yesterday, and now I'm eating my sub. What kind of sub do you get? Do you get one with a lot of, like, schmeat on it? You know, like a meatball sub? Or do you get, like, a barbecue bacon burger sub? Or what do you get? Barbecue bacon rib? Yeah! Barbecue bacon rib is really good, man. I love it. Because it was sub of the day? Okay, well that's fair enough, but I think mostly in regards to, like, it's just the overall flavor and everything that I enjoy, you know? I really like... Barbecue is just, like, good old reliable, I feel. Anyways. Work weekend and tired mentally and physically, but all good. Man, do you get next weekend off at least? I hope so, because it sounds like it sucks to just work over the weekend. Hasn't it been like a full week straight that you've been working? Good gosh, man. I hope you find the time and ability to soon. Not the barbecue bacon burger. Yeah. Unfortunately, not that. However, let me tab over so you guys can at least watch me do something in the meanwhile, and I can pause my music as well. It's always 2 weeks, but the weekend in second week is free. Yeah, imagine weekend. Imagine dragons. I'm trying to get used to this mod view. It is a little bit unique, isn't it? But, well... Welcome everyone to our new mod. Oh, right, that reminds me. I guess we don't really get a lot of people on YouTube, but the mod invitation is extended over to YouTube there. Hi, it's me. It's him. I mean, it sucks to work, period. Imagine weekend. Yep. I think so. However, we gotta work. If I could just do my streaming activities all the way through and throughout, then I would be very happy with it. I'm Rebecca! Yeah. I mean, I suppose so. However, I did hear that there was another Rebecca in the server. Apparently it was held by Kaya. Kaya might have been the second Rebecca in that case. Unless there's a conflict of interest to see who the real Rebecca is. Otherwise... This next upcoming week, as mentioned, and I'll probably reiterate this again whenever it's near the end of stream, but we're going to be doing 2 RimWorld days and 2 Resident Evil days. However, I will kind of be having short RimWorld days, I suppose, on Sundays as well, depending on how long our AniManga session decides to persist or go on for. So... we'll see how that goes. From my side, there isn't much to talk about with Spice and Wolf since the next arc is just starting and I already had talked about the kidnapping one. Yes, but there's the entire interaction with the wolves in the forest, and then there was Lawrence losing contact with Hollow, so to speak, or at least them getting in a bit of an argument or a bit of a scuffle. Then there was... oh gosh, I need to double check my notes, because... I tend to binge watch, and when I binge watch it, I have to take notes of everything. So we have episodes 7 to technically 13 if you include the OVA, and there was, yeah, Hollow mentions the honey pickled apples. Gosh, a part of me feels like I should go ahead and do something like that because that sounds so good. I've been contemplating it. I've actually done or made like sort of honey pickled orange before. What I would do is I would get a bunch of honey and a bunch of sugar, and I would place orange rinds as well as some innards of oranges together, and just allow it to siphon out all of the orange flavor from it, which was really tasty. Gosh, I love orange and chocolate. It's so good. I read the manga, and for me, what happened, they journeyed, and Lawrence got scammed and now needs to get out of the trouble the scam got him into. Yeah. For the most part, it's basically that entire arc where it's like, okay, Lawrence has gotten into this entire kerfuffle, so to speak, with attempting to earn a lot of profit from one of those deals, because he was getting ripped off at first, right? He was getting ripped off at first, and he was like, oh no, no you don't. And now he's the one that's kind of getting ripped off because there was a market crash, and so he has to try and deal with it. But then all of the traders refuse to deal with Lawrence because he thinks it, or they think of it as, I forget what the exact terminology it was used. I didn't write it down in my notes, but I wrote down that they refused to trade with Lawrence because he had brought with Hollow, or at least that was one of the guys that mentioned, how dare you bring a woman while we're trying to conduct business dealings? We wouldn't have helped you otherwise, and I have the kindness to tell you so. And yeah, Hollow being excited about honey pickled fruit. Of course, Hollow fat wolf. She's not fat. She's not fat. She just loves apples. She's eating like, what, 20 to 40 a day? I forgot how many it was, but she eats a lot of apples, okay? Them's a lot of apples. Hollow, she's the wisest wolf, and I think that's all that needs to be said. But how are you doing, Okami? It's been a bit. You joined here for the, you join a bit for the AniManga Saturdays, but you've missed, unfortunately, the RimWorld streams that we've been having as well. So I hope you eventually get to join in on some of those. I think we'll maybe be playing a little bit of it later as well. Hollow is Secret Ryuk. It feels like it, yeah. Except she doesn't have a death note, but she does decide whether or not the harvest will work. The romance between Hollow and Lawrence was really, really nice. They refused to give him a loan for that. It seemed like they saw her as a means of inciting pity. Yeah, I think so. It's very much the whole, like, beggars thing where you try to bring Hollow along to convince them that she was trying to do more. I work, ... Yeah, I know, it's unfortunate. Plus, time zones make things really difficult, albeit I don't know where you're from. So, I hope... I don't know, I tried to pick times that work for everyone. Sometimes, if this were my full-time job, then I would be able to, like, stream way later, and then I could cater to both an American and a European audience, you know? They never appeared in the same panel, convince me otherwise. In the anime, they appear in many multiple shots together. So that's... I suppose that's a fun way to look at it. Okay, so it was that. I was confused. Yeah, they didn't take kindly to Lawrence bringing Hollow with because it was like a means of inciting pity because she might be wearing like ragged clothes or like, oh, think of my children, and he's meant to be a He's meant to be a somewhat renowned, but not renowned merchant, because again, these are the people that he knows. He's going to his friends, and he's showing up with a girl and saying, "I need money. I'm gonna become poor soon. I'm gonna become poor." Like a beggar with a puppy. Yeah. Well, in this case, it was the wisest of wolves. Like, why would it be bad she was there, them thinking he's fishing for sympathy, and I hated how after that Lawrence was about to say that it was her fault. I agree, however, I like that Lawrence immediately apologized. He was like, man, I know that I've done wrong. I know that I've done wrong. And immediately he just, like, backtracks, and Hollow is like, no, in fact, you should have been more mad with me. You should have been more mad with me because I was the one getting in the way of you and your friendships and not being able to get a loan. It's my fault that we got into this situation, and it's my fault that you didn't get some kind of loan to get yourself out of this situation. So I think that was like really refreshing to hear how much Hollow cared, because she realizes the circumstances that that Lawrence is going through, and then sympathizes with him and says, "You know what? No, I completely get that you're acting like this because you're infuriated, but also, why are you not more mad with me? Why did you feel the need to apologize directly after?" I really liked that interaction between the two. That didn't even happen yet for me. I read until chapter 25, and basically the last thing that happened was Lawrence's teacher saying, "We can't help you, and if you make it, you're gonna be a slave, but good luck." Okay, then it seems like there's a little bit of a different pacing for the manga and the anime. The anime goes all the way up to a forest attack. So I think you've got maybe 10-ish more chapters in that case. I think then I maybe underestimated how the manga would keep up with it. So that is quite a difference. I didn't know. Let's see. I was like, "You moron, you better make it up to her 1,000-fold. Yeah, exactly. Buy her all the apples that she could want as a result of that. Yeah, I'm so happy they didn't do the typical anime drama slaverets. Yes. I'm really glad that they didn't succumb to doing the exact same thing that a lot of shows tend to do with, like, drama between two characters, because why would you always encourage it or have it as like a means of resolving conflict? So there are a couple of ways that anime tends to handle or manage conflict that I think falls into the area of being really common or really typical, and it just makes me go, oh, come on, really? Like, you have a whole bunch of these high school dramas, and you have a whole bunch of these anime which tend to focus around, like, interpersonal mingling, but it's always based off of misconceptions. It's never like a character actually does something wrong and then gets blamed for it or then apologizes immediately. It's like, no, I did this one thing wrong, but I'm never going to apologize for it, even though I know I'm wrong, and now we're going to spend the next 5 to 10 episodes talking about why it was wrong, and only then will I feel like I should apologize. It's like, come on, man. You could resolve this in maybe a 20-second conversation. You would only have to begin the conversation with, "Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry for what?" And through that, you've resolved the entire conflict. I feel like most cases when it comes to conflict like this, you tend to be emotional. But I also don't think that being emotional is wrong, and I think what I really enjoy about Spice and Wolf is that Hollow realizes that. She's like, yes, why didn't you get more mad with me? Like, you heard the reason, you heard his reasoning, why his teacher said that he wouldn't be lending him money, and why he wouldn't help out Lawrence when he was now in millions of debt. Or whatever it is. It was like 30,000, 45,000, was it? Something like that. He was 45,000 silver coins of Trenian debt. And he was like, okay, well, you're bringing Hollow along. You clearly want sympathy for it, and I didn't teach you this way. You should know better. And Hollow was like, oh, I messed it up. You also spent a bunch of money on me. Technically, he has debt to me as well, or I'm in debt to him, and I haven't been able to pay it off. So Hollow feels responsible or guilty as well, that she has in some way contributed to the situation. So over here, something out of character, doesn't question person about it, 2 episodes dedicated to this nonsense. Exactly. It tends to be like that for a majority of shows, which I think is unfortunate, because whenever you have this as an outcome or as a result in your anime/manga, because I think they handle it at different paces, of course. I think that's a given, but more often than not, you find that anime tends to drag out conversations, or they tend to pad conversations more, either with context or with events that happen in between, and as a result of that, you have like a whole bunch of episodes that feel like they're more lamenting or dwelling on the fact that it happened rather than trying to find a resolution to the subject in the first place. It's like, and I'm trying to think of an example, but I don't actually watch a whole lot of slice of life, nor do I really continue watching any of these shows that do this. But it's common more so to see that they'll have an argument. He'll go, "Oh, I can't believe I messed up this way. Now I'm gonna spend the next 20 episodes brooding over this." And nothing happens as a result of this. It's like you could have resolved this way earlier on. I feel like in reflection of both their ages and Hollow being one of the wisest wolves we know, she's at least very upfront about it, you know, and just says, well, you should have gone mad at me, you apologized immediately, you shouldn't have anything else to feel sorry about in that case. She's gonna pay him back with love and marriage. Yes, take my hand in marriage, Hollow. This is the wisest decision you could make. You would enjoy the fragrant flower then. Every time a character starts brooding over something, keeping it a secret, and dealing it with it by themselves, someone else in the friend group notices and puts them on the spot immediately. I think so. I think anytime a conflict or some kind of inner turmoil can be resolved within the same episode, or at least within a reasonable amount of time, because of course anime and manga differ in how much time that they allow themselves to present a certain scenario, i.e. they spend maybe 5 panels on one day, but the entire episode will spend an entire day on just the events of every single character, if it is the case that there are multiple stories going on at the same time, because flashbacks, whatever, bouncing between characters, etc. Hollow is the fattest wolf. What? She's not! She's just keeping herself slim for winter. She's making sure. I will not allow this disrespect banned. Put him in timeout! Put him in timeout! Can't be listening to this slander of the wisest wolf. But otherwise, I suppose we can talk a little bit as well about some of the notes. Bro, when given a modicum of power, yeah, honestly, Mr. Brown, I didn't raise you to be like this. I didn't raise you to be like this. So, I know that we kind of go over these questions every single time, but I think it's a good way to reuse a little bit of a format and try to generate some conversation from it. So, what impressions? I suppose we can skip this one. Let's see. Does this? Okay, no, it doesn't accept my special character input on on OBS. I'm gonna write this one down for myself. Okay, so what do you think about your opinions from the start of the show to the end of the show, at least from the first season? Do you guys feel that you've changed your opinion either on Lawrence or on Hollow, the wisest of wolves, since you started the show, or how do you guys feel about it? Because I feel, at least from 1st to 6th episode, you kind of get to see Lawrence being the reliable character all the way throughout. However, in the arc of episodes 7 to 12, I think that's when you get to see Lawrence isn't the absolute best merchant. He's still inexperienced. He is like only 25 years old or something like that, being a merchant in multiple cities, traveling around all the time. I don't know, Lawrence still seems incompetent to me. I don't think he is, though. I don't think he is. I at least like to place myself in the shoes of the character for situations that I might not be able to understand. But I think Lawrence handles it fairly reasonably because he's just about to have his entire life come crumbling down on him. This is like one of the biggest deals, the absolute fail of deals in his entire history, as well as like something that would end him in prison. I'm sure he's also more used to working on things alone, which is why he feels a little bit, not uncomfortable, but inexperienced, which is why Hollow teases him for his absolute inexperience when handling women, that he's not sure how to take care of Hollow and himself at the same time, but he knows that he can take care of himself. And I think that's kind of where his inexperience begins to amplify or magnify the situation, because had he not been with Hollow, he would have gotten out of that situation. He's not incompetent in that sense, I think. And for that reason, I would see it as more like it's sort of because of Hollow, and Hollow realizes it as well, which is why she mentions it, like, you should have gotten more mad with me. I think Lawrence doesn't know how to handle women, as mentioned, but the reason why he even makes mistakes, sort of, is because Hollow is there. But also, he has earned more money. It's like higher highs, lower lows. Would you rather go back to a life of just things to be expected had he not paired up or joined with Hollow in her trip up to the north? So I thought Lawrence was a big loser for skipping out on Chloe, but I grew to skip out on that. Other than that, he's a little bit silly. How do you mean? I was also very surprised by how emotionless the interaction between Lawrence and his teacher was. I feel like that's fairly a medieval thing, maybe? I mean, you go to a merchant's guild to learn from the merchant's guild. But also, he admits, the teacher, that he thinks Lawrence is kind of pity baiting with Hollow being there, which is probably why he felt emotionless, and he said, I wouldn't have accepted you in the first place. Or I wouldn't have allowed you into my place in the first place because you brought with Hollow. And that was the whole, like, argument, and how Lawrence found out, oh, I don't want to, or wait, sorry, it was how Lawrence found out why he wasn't being lent any loans and why people were refusing him right at the door. And that's why I was like, oh, okay, now that I know it's because of Hollow, I'm going to flip out. But at the same time, he apologizes like 20 seconds later. And he's like, you know what, I'll see you at the room, but I understand if you don't want to be together or travel together anymore with me. So, it's good he skipped out. He has Hollow, and Chloe sucks. Hollow is the wisest wolf, and therefore, I think, the best character thus far. Lawrence Chudrance? No, not Chudrance. From Lawrence talking about it, I would have assumed that they were a lot closer, and he was somewhat like a father figure, but the dude turns around and lets Lawrence walk into all the trouble without warning, then goes, I won't help you. Get it done, or you're going to be a slave. Yeah, it's a dog-eat-dog world out there, I suppose. It's very, very ruthless. I can't say for sure if it's meant to be a reflection of anything in particular, but to me, it just makes sense. It just works, trademark. I think it just works because it is a medieval setting. I kind of feel like if you travel between places, or at least whenever I picture medieval settlements in my mind, and whenever I think of serfs and villages and towns and how they earn money, I mean, you've seen basically every single interaction with different merchants. There has not been, I think, one good merchant that Lawrence has interacted with in the entire show, or the entire manga thus far. You've got maybe, what's his friend's name? The guy on the bridge that balances the coins and says, yeah, actually, I think there's going to be a dip in the gold market or the stock market soon. So I think that's probably one of the reasons why he feels like, or he has to be ruthless as a merchant in order to make a profit, and I think it's even more egregious in the Middle Ages for that reason. So Chloe doesn't exist. She literally doesn't exist in the manga. Yeah, she's replaced for a man in the manga. So true, you also only need Hollow. Honestly, I get him, though. He can't be biased and have favoritism. Yeah, because he's not the only apprentice. Like, he might have taught Lawrence everything he knows, but that doesn't, like, limit him to having to treat Lawrence any differently than he would another apprentice. Because at the end of the day, even though he was his apprentice, he is still another merchant. He is still a rival merchant in that case. It's like very much a cutthroat society of, if you're not earning money off of the profit or off of the loss of someone else, then you're the one being profited off of. And I think that's how most medieval trading goes about. So I agree with this. I know there's tough love, but man, for a father figure, that was quite harsh. Yeah, But at the same time, I don't, maybe it's just me. I didn't really get the impression that he was a father figure as much as he was just like a teacher figure. I wouldn't want to be in his place though, as much as it sucks. It's just his friend from the village. There is no love interest besides Hollow, and I guess the shepherd girl. I think with the shepherd girl, it's not so much that he has a romantic interest in her. It's more like he's fond of girls that are quite shy, though, as Hollow says, she's a wolf in sheep's clothing, whereas Hollow is quite literally a wolf. The shepherd girl was weird to me, to be honest. Something about her still feels off. Yeah, even Hollow mentions on that, or comments on it. She's like, are you sure she doesn't practice, like, any pagan rituals or do anything quite suspicious? Because that seems to be more in line with what I'm thinking. She even mentions to Lawrence, like, you seem a little bit naive about interacting with her, Lawrence. So I think I agree with that, but I guess we'll have to see. Didn't he start teaching Lawrence when he was like 8? That's why I assumed it was a father figure. I don't think because I watched the anime and I haven't gone around to rereading the manga, but I don't think they mentioned ages. It was just he went to the Merchants Guild and he was his tutor, and that's why he felt like it was a father figure. But there's never actually any mention of who Lawrence's father is or any of his familial relations in that sense. Another thing in the anime that I find kind of interesting is the soundtrack. It's very mysterious and mystical. Mystical, maybe, but I do think it is very mysterious. It's very much like, I feel like I keep falling back on this as being my expectations or as my explanation of it, but it feels very medieval, you know? Like, you've got the very slow strums of what feels or sounds like tavern music, you know? So I feel like that. Yeah, her intro in the anime is ominous as well. Shepherd's girl skins baby. I don't think she does that. I really don't think she does that. That seems like it's out of left field. So I thought she would turn evil. Maybe she still does, and it's very medieval, lol. We're on the same wavelength. We really are. I think it is a medieval anime, though, so I feel like that's probably going to be the first result of what we talk about. It's like, yes, this is the medieval ages, and how well do they treat each other, I think. Because oftentimes, I feel like whenever... I don't know if I want to say mangaka in general. Whenever a story is told in medieval times, I feel like it's often underemphasized just how ruthless it was back then. Like, most of the times, and when you read in about the history of both, like, serfs, about drifters, about slaves, and about people serving nobles in medieval times, all of these, like, villages were basically isolated communities. If you were not in the community, they did not care for you. Not nearly as much, and they would very rarely get travelers. Like, of course you have exceptions for things like this, and maybe I'm just, like, making things up to a certain extent, but in a lot of historical records, they just did not care about outsiders. Like, you'd try to walk into one of the main cities in, like, Rome at the time, and they would be like, okay, where's your ID? What village are you from? Are you, who do you know? Do you know someone? Are you meant to be here? And they'd probably, like, kick you out or try to figure out where you're from. If not, and they caught you stealing something, they'd lop off your hand or execute you. So there was no mercy if they had no social connection to you. And even if they did have social connection to you, if you weren't in that area or living in that same area for the most part, I want to say, because yes, merchants do have to have a place of, like, base of operations, so to speak, but if you weren't living there for a large majority of your life, then the townsfolk don't really care. They might remember your name, but they know that you only show up once a quarter, and that's maybe not enough, depending on how much you contribute to the village and so on. Og has a favorite wizardling. It's Apprentice, and he's not my favorite. I don't have favorites. You're all my little wizardlings. I mean, apprentices. How dare you? You've confused me as well. Hollow sucked Lawrence's blood once, right? Isn't that a means of contract formation in some European mythos? To my knowledge, yes, but it's more like the pagan ritual stuff, right? It's more like, oh, because you have done this via blood, it then gives her power or it engages in some kind of contract. It's like the entire basis around lycanthropy in medieval belief, as well as like blood being a source of life and therefore power, and because Hollow is technically the goddess of harvest, at least for certain regions, and because of wheat, the wheat. She uses it as a medium to power up, but I find it kind of weird because it's never really explained. Like, why did she have to use blood and maybe not wheat? You know, because at no other points, like in the beginning, she didn't have to use Lawrence's blood in order to transform. Is it like a cost to transform back into being a wolf after being a human, or is it a cost to turn into a human after being a wolf? I found that a little bit curious, but I won't say that it's like a missed aspect of it. I just think it's more like, well, they'll probably never explain this, but I am curious. So, oh, let's see. I missed some of this. Wait, did the scene with the shepherd girl sleeping in the barn and the church dude not happen in the anime? Sleeping in the barn and the church dude. There was one part where she was sleeping in the barn, yeah, and there was a little bit of monologue there. Well, vampires. Hollow is just a very, very hungry wolf as well as a very wise wolf. I think this should be a bit higher than just apprentice. You're all of my apprentices. Some of you are just more diligent students than others, and some of you pay attention whenever we're going over potions class, you know? That's different from a contract formation, right? They do that for food unless you're talking about the establishment of a thrall. Yeah. Thralls and ghouls and the like are different denominations of a vampire's familiar, in that sense. It's usually not drinking blood. It's more ritualistic in blood offerings. It tends to be, but it's never exempt from it, right? It's more like the medium of requiring blood as a way to contract or to establish some kind of pact. It's in some cultures for their means of magic or whatever you want to call it, their arcane mysteries. It can be tied to more of a symbolic gesture as well, because you're offering life force, right? It's like it doesn't have to necessarily imply that it's always blood. It can be the implication that it's happening for the sake of giving up something that is personal to you, as opposed to rather just cutting off a limb or, I don't know, calling it quits there and sacrificing yourself like it's like you're a goat. So, I don't think so. What happened? Yeah, I'm curious. In a barn? I don't think that was in the anime. Yeah, I would have to double check. What do you mean, or which part do you mean by that, Helios, with the shepherd girl and the church guy in the barn? I don't remember otherwise, because I thought you were meaning the monologue, but that was like the night before. Lawrence begins to contact the shepherd girl about having this like deal, so to speak, about smuggling the gold. Okay, he's posted screenshots. That fairy belongs to the church? No, okay. That scene wasn't in the anime whatsoever. Yeah, I sent some pics in the thread. Is someone with you? That fairy belongs to the church. No, I don't recall that, actually, when watching the anime. So I think that probably never happened. Yeah, it's insinuating something, no? I think so. I think so. I think that might also be why Hollow was kind of onto her. But I guess we'll have to figure out, because I don't remember if it was something that I actually know about. I just know that there's more stuff that's revealed and more stuff that is shown later on. But, of course, the second season doesn't cover the entirety of the manga, because that's about 100 chapters, but I think the anime only goes up to, like, halfway through at most, so, wasn't there. Exactly. Yeah, it didn't show up in the anime. With how she looks at the end, I mean, Lawrence did talk to his teacher about her. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Either way, I still feel like Hollow was onto her, or was aware that something was going on there, and his teacher knows what's going on, but never came out and never said anything straight up. So, yeah. Aug GPT, generate me an image of jealous Hollow being upset at Lawrence for Lawrence falling for the stinky shepherd. Okay. MS Paint. Let's check paint. Let's do this. Your request is my demand. Where is it? App. Stream app. Here we go. Here we go. Overlay on top of screen. Nope, that was not it. This one. Here we go. Well, come on. Center this, OBS. Please center this. It's like snapping to grid and it's not wanting to do it. Okay, come on. Like that? No? This? No? That? Like this? Like that? What? OBS, come on. just work with me here. Okay. Can you guys see this? Can we see this? MS Paint. It's just that something shady is going on with her in the church, very much so, but she's also working at the church. So, lol. Oh, I can see the requests? Yeah, you can. Can you see my feet too, stinky mod? What? Mr. Brown, are you gonna let him talk to you like that? Okay, so now we've got Hollow getting jealous of Lawrence. Oh gosh, how am I gonna do this? Okay, so we've got Hollow the oh, maybe I should swap size of the brush here. Yeah, we need to use thicker brushes. Oh, here we go. Then we've got I want to do that like winky face where she's like crossed out but like keeping an eye open, right? She's like, oh. Then what does her hairstyle? I can't remember what her hairstyle looks like off the top of my head. Was it like, then she does like that, and then we have her ears. Whoa, this is really bad. Whoa, like that, and well, there we go, or whatever. Hair. Yep. Here we go. And then she's like cross-armed as well because she's like, So we've got, I don't know, torso is like that. So maybe something like here, then shoulders go in. She's cross-armed. So like that. Okay. Sorry, you have to follow along with my thought process here. But this is difficult, okay? Auger GPT has not been trained on a lot of arts. We're gonna have to do stick legs like that because I don't know. I don't know how to do this. And then Lawrence. Okay, what do you guys... Make Hollow fat? I'm not gonna make Hollow fat. What? I mean, from the way the scene was in my head, went straight to her being used for, you know... No. I guess I can see the prompts complete when you finish them. Yeah, for sure. You can do that. I like to save some of them, though, just in case, because I'm not sure. And then how do I draw Lawrence? Oh, the drawing isn't showing up on screen? What? Wait, it's not showing? Sorry, I only saw this now. Paint? MS Paint? Oh, here we go, here we go. Sorry, Here we go. We can't follow along. Yeah, my bad. I was so into it trying to figure out. I was like, okay, gonna have to draw the sticks. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, how do I draw Lawrence now? And then we've got... Oh, there we go. We've got Lawrence. And then he's like... Gosh, drawing with a mouth is terrible. He's like a little bit tired, so he'll do like... Oh, whoa. He's awoogaing at... What was her name? What was the shepherd girl's name? It wasn't Chloe. That was the other one. That was the other one in the anime. He was like, oh, awooga. Oh, what on earth? Yeah, but this is Lawrence. Come on, guys. Then he's got like grayish kind of hair. I forgot. Beep, 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 beep. Then it's like slightly spiky. Okay, it looks like he's an unsheared sheep, but you get it. Nora is her name. Yes, Nora. He's like, awooga. And we'll even like have his hands to his head. And then we've got the shoulders that go up. Like so. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's Nora. Like this. There. And then shoulders like that. Whoops. Like so. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Nora. And then we've got Nora over here. 25, gray hair. It's so Jover. It's so Jover. Then we've got Nora. And we'll do like this. You'll see what I'm doing. You'll see what I'm doing. She's got really big eyes. Really big eyes. And then we'll do, like, I forget what it's called whenever they draw the eyes with, with whatever it's called. The like, glints in their eyes. Oh, Nora. I forgot what her hair looks like. Like this, maybe. This looks like Zach Bell. This isn't exactly what I was thinking of, but yeah, we'll run with that. We'll run with that. And then she'll be in a little chibi form. Like so. Boop. Wait. Big feet. Big feet, Nora. And then we'll draw a sheep. How do I draw a sheep? So it really is, yeah. Here we go. Boop. Arm. Boop. Arm. Nora, there we go. Hollow. Wait, we need her wolf tail. We need her wolf tail. Sorry, that's my bad. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Pew. There we go. There we go. Sorry. And then she's got like a little bit of lining here because it goes into grayish white. What is that thing? She's a witch? It's Nora! This is Nora! Look, we've got Rents. And then Hollow. And then we've got Nora. There we go. He's like, Awooga! And there's the sheep girl. What does a sheep look like? Like this. And then it's like, kind of like, and then whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, there we go. Look at this. These impeccable sheep drawings. Okay, it should be really small and stubby just to fit. Fat wolf. I'm not making Hollow fat. She deserves way better treatment than that. She deserves way better treatment than that. What does a sheep's ears look like? Are they round? Are they round like that? Are they round? Do they go out? Like brrr. Hello, Virgil. Hello. And you know what? We'll just take this exact same one and then we'll paste it here. There we go. That's a little bit of image editing for you guys. Oops. I accidentally deleted it. How do I inverse this in Microsoft Paint? I can only shrink it. Okay. We'll just have two like this. Wow. We'll have three, in fact. There we go. Oh! Whoa! Whoa! Oh my goodness. 50 stream streak? Dude, that's crazy. Thank you so much for tuning in so often, Virgil. Also, I just realized that my model isn't on screen for whatever reason. Here we go. Yeah. Okay, there we go. And now, just for like the finishing touch, we probably want to give Hollow like an apple. She'll be holding onto an apple, and we can do burp, burp. There we go. I was trying to make it look better, but that didn't really work, you know. And then we can add a little leaf. I don't know if Hollow probably doesn't eat the leaf. She's not a leaf eater, you know. There we go. There we go. Discord admin. Okay. This one. Oops. This one is going into the Discord server though. But let me swap back to Peglin now. Where is my app? Here we go. Whoa. And then I'll send this in the server. Wouldn't you guys like to see this? Putting this on the fridge. Here's full version. High res version. High res version. Okay. Resident Evil 9 is coming on Tuesday or Wednesday. Dude, I hope it comes over soon so you get to play it, the physical version of it. And where's my timer? There it is. Discord mod impression. Hello, kittens. Today... Oh, maybe perhaps I should move this. Oh, wait. I can move the notes over to the side. Yes, that works a little bit better. That works a little bit better. Let's see what more I missed, kittens. You mean to you? Well, a physical copy? Yes, yes. It's very good. Wait, what do you mean it's very good? Do you mean the Resident Weaver? Or do you mean impression? Or do you mean my drawing? Because I'm seeing multiple of you reacting with cucumber and laugh on my MS Paint drawing. The accent one didn't show in the request reward. Yes, wait, it should. Let me check my request reward. It should show for you, Mr. Brown. No, it didn't show. I'm not sure why it didn't, Mr. Brown, but I suppose that will just have to do. Anyways, perhaps it shows in the activity feed. Yes, yes, it does, kitten. Either way, perhaps we should. Oh wait, whoops! There we go. Now it's on the other side, so you can see what it is I'm actually talking about at the same time. So. Oh, don't call me kid. Well, this is the Discord mod voice. What am I meant to do about this? Seriously, what are you? Nothing. Are you mint from Nikkei? That is so mean to say to me. I'm not mint from Nikkei. Anyways, as I was saying, let me interact. We didn't really see many of the other characters, but with the plot of the story so far, how do you guys feel about the plot of the story thus far? I feel like the second arc is pretty good because it tries to not only introduce some of the mysteries behind the other wolves, as well as how am I meant to say Warrens? Warrens, that's how you say it. How Warrens would interact with, or rather, how Warrens would overcome his situation, of being massively in depth. I know nothing about the second arc yet, it's just starting. Well, that's true. I did not think that the manga would be far behind the anime, so... That was my bad with the calculations. I will make sure for next time that I double check. But that is what people were saying online. That, oh yes, it's up until chapter 25, I believe. I do not exactly remember where it was. I'm really not hitting some of these right now. There we go. Otherwise, yes, the plot. Helios, I know this might then come as a shock to you, but there was actually an interaction with another one of the wolves that Hollow knows. Well, she doesn't know this wolf in particular, but she does know that it is one of her kind, so it's another, I think it was a god and not a goddess, or at least a minor deity, because this one does not have as much powerful control, because she calls him a youngin, since he is so focused on pride, instead of focusing on, well... anything else? Anything else? Instead, that wolf is very engrossed in being powerful and leading packs to attack humans, which she says, no, that is very bad. I know I'm kind of playing it up a little bit, because I'm... Yes, I know I'm playing it up a little bit, because I'm doing this Discord mod voice, but I'm being completely honest. That it is probably one of my favorite parts, at least when Hollow confronts and transforms into her wolf form, because at least to me it feels very fantastical. What I mean by this is that most of the show never really touches on the fantastical. You actually sound like that one South Park character. Which one? Oh, I can stop now. I was just doing it for the love of the game there for a moment. Notes overlay now. I can drag this back. I don't know if it's probably best here. Let's do that. Which South Park? The one with Mimvy? Oh, wait. No, I think I recall slightly. But yeah, one of the things that I really like about the interactions between Hollow and some of the other, like, wolves and whatnot is that it very seldom happens, but that's what makes it feel more fantastical, and I do like fantastical situations or circumstances. Can't remember what character that is. I can't remember either. I have very vague memories. It was quite a while ago that I watched the entirety of South Park, but I do really like it. Either way, I think Hollow interacts with one of the youngins, not from her tribe in specific, but one of the other, like, minor deities, a god, I guess, in that case, and says that he's just very prideful, and that's how you know that he's young, because he's so focused on power and he's so focused on gain that it's just not what the other gods do, because they eventually realize that they'll outlive anything and everything, and there's no point to it. Lawrence is kind of a coward. I don't know what other word to use to describe it. I use that one personally, but you'll have to tell me if that's wrong. Do you mean he's, like, cowardly, or do you mean that he is, like, afraid to engage or interact, or how do you mean specifically when you use that word? I'm not gonna, like, read it, but at the same time, I'm not gonna censor you for it, Helios. I'm just curious, like, do you mean he's, I'll say why I think so. Yeah, go ahead, because I'm wondering what you mean by it, because I don't think Lawrence is that much of a coward, because he is at the same time confronting, well, gigantic wolves or whatever. He is running away, and his whole life is at stake. He is basically a peasant merchant boy for most of his life and whatnot. It's like not like he grew or came out from wealth, you know? So he is still very much like unaccustomed to the whimsy of the world and what possible things are in store for the whole world. So you mean when he sees Hollow in wolf form? I'm not sure. He is writing though, so we'll see what Helios writes. But I think Lawrence is pretty okay overall. I don't really see him as, like, being overly cowardly or I mean, yes, he is a very skittish person, but I don't necessarily think that's cowardly. If I were to give a good comparison, Okami, maybe you can correct me on this if I'm wrong. But I think it kind of reminds me of Otto from ReZero. It's not like Otto is a cowardly person. He stands up when he needs to, but he is a very skittish person. He cares a lot about himself and keeping himself alive, so he won't do something completely reckless. So at the same time, he's not courageous enough to completely lay down his life and just get something done or do it because of the sake of needing it to be done. But he's also afraid were something to happen, like Lawrence does. Yeah, I think Lawrence and Otto from ReZero share some qualities in that sense. They're very much like skittish, but not actually cowardly. I don't think they're cowardly, at least. I wouldn't describe Lawrence or Otto as being cowardly, at least. What a great comparison. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I believe so as well, because they both take inspiration from medieval times. And welcome, Kosan. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing? How was your weekend? Otto is opportunistic. Yeah, I feel like that's just merchants, to be honest. They're very shrewd. Yes, I think so, but I think that's exactly why. I think that's exactly why I would probably characterize them, or at least say that they share a couple of traits in similarity with each other, you know? So I think that's my motivation for it, either way. That's my motivation. In the chapters I read, there have been a bunch of times Hollow's home, the Northern Forests, are mentioned, and every time it happens, Hollow always gets giga happy and looking forward to seeing her home again, and they deliberately show Lawrence's reaction being pained and stuff because he knows those forests don't exist anymore, which has been revealed in the first few chapters. But not once has he had the balls to actually tell Hollow and talk to her about it. Sorry for the novel. No. Don't apologize. I like reading longer messages, so don't feel like that's something bad. You can type as many as you want. Because even I'm a small streamer right now, so it doesn't matter if you write a novel, I'll read it. I can kind of see that, but at the same time, it's like, I think Hollow is maybe partially aware. You know when you have okay, I was gonna say when you've lived a couple hundred years. No, obviously not. We've not all lived a couple hundred years. My point is that if you've lived for that long, you probably know that things are unlikely to be the same as they were. And as a result, I think she's half aware, and at the same time, I think Lawrence doesn't want to be the one. He's allowing her to continue in believing it. But I could be misinterpreting what the original manga was like, because I don't really recall this being the case. Very epic, thank you for asking. Of course, cool. I take care of my apprentices. I always make sure. I think I ought to read the manga. It seems like it adds more and different context or contents. Yeah, I feel like I should probably do the same. It's been quite a while since I did that. The forests don't exist. I think the implication was that they're at least massively changed, or that Hollow's, like, fellow wolves probably don't exist anymore. Even though she wants to try and go back there, that's most likely the reason why. But I feel like that's kind of implied throughout. I feel like even she knows that the rest of the wolves are no longer there. So, sorry, tea break. I love Otto, but Lawrence lacks a lot of the traits that makes Otto lovable to me. How do you see Otto then? Or how do you see Lawrence then? Like, what do you think characterizes Lawrence in your eyes? What do you think if you were to hear, or be asked, which I'm doing right now, how would you define Lawrence? Or when you describe Lawrence in 3 traits, what traits come to mind for you? Only this wizard knows how living 100+ years feel. Yeah, that's why I was so hesitant to say, oh, imagine having lived for that long. Oop. Yeah, right. Only you've lived a couple hundred years, you old fart. How dare you? How dare you? You take that back right now, my apprentice. How dare you? How dare you? Oh, because I don't think I noticed that in the anime. She did talk about her wolf friends, and that's about it. Yeah, I think the implication is nearly always that, like, she's been alive for hundreds and hundreds of years. That's what makes the complication all the more staggering, or all the more apparent, that everyone she knows might be gone or dead. I feel like it's sort of present, but at the same time isn't, in the anime, because they don't really touch upon it in a similar way. The ways that they kind of bring it up is by discussion of, I wonder what life was like, or talking about the younger and older wolves that exist, because she never mentions any of the wolves by name. She only just talks about it very vaguely. And let's see here. See here. A place called Yoitsu. What's wrong? Nothing. You were born there? I was. How is Yoitsu doing these days? Is everyone well? Did she say Yoitsu? I know it from an old story I'd heard at the end of the north. It was destroyed centuries ago. There's no way a girl from this town would know of it. Yeah. I think that's added context then. That definitely wasn't in the anime whatsoever. But I think a part of Hollow doesn't want to accept that it's gone. So, rather than having to tell her or to break the news and dash her hopes, I think the whole point, it's about the journey. It's about the journey that they have all the way up to the north. I mean, that's the whole reason why Hollow at some points was like, I don't care about the debt that I have to you, but if you really want me to pay it off, then I'll pay it off. And Lawrence was like, no, never mind. Don't bother doing it because I still want to keep traveling with you. Was the gist of that whole scene where Lawrence was making a joke about how much Hollow owes him. And she says, do you really want me gone that badly? And then that was like a whole conversation that they had at one of the inns. It turns out it's like she wants to keep that debt to him so that she can stay traveling with him. Genuinely, I see Lawrence as a semi-competent merchant. He seems somewhat reliable, but he's also extremely dependent on Hollow for certain things, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. The reason why I like Otto more is mainly because of the setting. Lawrence is solely traveling with Hollow. He's not surrounded by bros that run up his blood pressure. Yeah, he's also not cursed to die a couple 100,000 times and all, but that panel is literally in Chapter 2. Yeah, I feel like that contextualizes things differently, but at the same time, I feel like whenever it comes to how mangas contextualize their stories, the beginning is always going to be very, very different from the rest of the manga. It's like how the art style changed and how they decided to depict Hollow in a different way as comparative to the anime, because that one's more consistent all the way through. So I feel like you can make an argument in favor for yes and no, that Lawrence never brings it up or never mentions it again because he doesn't feel the need to, or because it's contextualized differently in the anime versus the manga, etc. So I feel like that's how I see it. The manga portrays it as he doesn't tell Hollow because he doesn't believe that he necessarily needs to. He'd rather show her. But also, I think Hollow, at least from perspective of the anime, kind of feels like she gives the impression of, oh yeah, it's probably all gone anyway. My wolf friends in the north, it's like lamenting. She's lamenting most of the time whenever she speaks about the north. But I do also feel like that's maybe the case then, Okami. I think for Otto, he's forced into a lot of do or die situations, whereas Hollow isn't, or Lawrence isn't. Lawrence has a couple of interactions with Hollow, where Hollow is the center of an issue, but most of the time they resolve within like the same day or within the second day. So it's not so much like there's a constant looming threat, and there are a whole bunch of people that are constantly out to kill you, like in Re:Zero. So the manga art style looks a lot cleaner than the anime, to be honest. I think it's because you're watching the 2008 one, right? The 2024 one is a lot more consistent in that sense. It follows, I think, or at least in my opinion, it's much more akin to the manga art style, at least once it begins to settle in. The art changes quite a lot in the manga. If you look at the general channel, I sent some panels comparing Hollow's design in chapter 18 and 1. Yeah, it's because I imagine they got different artists. It's when you have, I suppose, a mangaka who, or sorry, you have a story writer and then you have a mangaka separately, and I think that's how it's working. So I take it back. Holy, yeah, it that varies wildly. It is very, very different between some of the chapters. Serious glow up. I think that's why the 2024 anime decided to stick with one style and also changed how it looks. Like, I feel the 2008 one is somewhat, I don't want to say generic. I want to say that it's befitting of the art style of that time. Whereas the manga ended up changing a couple of times, and the 2024 version ended up utilizing or having a similarly adapted art style to what the manga was using, or at least for a majority of it. And I think that's why. That's how I see it anyway, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't think there's anything confirming or denying what the, or why there was the reason for the art style changes, or what the reason was for the art style changes. So I think that's probably the main differing factor, so to speak. Also, yeah, Otto has had more chances to prove his love and loyalty to his homeboys than Lawrence had with Hollow, if that makes any sense. Yeah, exactly. All of the interactions that Otto gets, it's nearly always in the context of, like, some greater looming threat or some life and death situation, because he's pushed into those situations, you know? It's not like he can choose to get out of it either, which means that either way he's going to have to risk or sacrifice something. Even if he wants to just be a merchant, he's unfortunately dragged into it and made out, like, to be scared or afraid, but he eventually gets used to it at some point. But I do enjoy the way that Law and Hollow rip off of each other, especially with the teasing. I really like the both of them. I think it's a good kind of chemistry, but also it's not one that you see much where they rib each other, but also they both like each other, and they both tease each other, or Hollow likes to tease him for liking her. And you kind of see this with romance manga, but not in the same way, or not in the same understanding that Hollow has. Because Hollow is hundreds of years old. She sees Lawrence as a bit of like not a child, obviously. He's a young man, and she does like him. But the age difference of a couple hundred years, where Hollow is like a couple hundred years old, and Lawrence is like 25 years old, I mean, it does make their dynamic where she teases him a little bit different. So... yeah, the way I see it, it's between a handful of... it's been a handful of times, if not more, where the Northern Forests or Yoitsu come up in conversation, and Lawrence knows from his expression, you know that he knows he should tell her, but she doesn't. But he doesn't. Okay. Yeah, I guess I didn't really interpret it like that because of how the anime portrays it. But yeah, I can see it in such case. I can see that. Mostly because, as I've said, and I think I'm reiterating at this point, I think it's mostly because the anime decides to take all of the story as a whole, whereas the manga is still working with it, if that makes sense. You'll have a lot to read for next week. Yeah, if I'm really going to go through all of the manga in preparation, oh, that's going to be a lot. But my main thing for why I'm thinking the way I am is because the anime works off of a completed manga, or a manga that has reached a certain point to where you can create some kind of like story out of it, right? Like you want to be able to animate parts of it, hence you have to have some level of completion to it. Which is why I then think my interpretation is that the anime has a different way of going about it, because it has all of the context and knows that it can hold off, or it can express some things differently. If you started the manga now, we'd be at like chapter 40, if not further. Yeah, it's quite a lot to go through, all in all. But we'll see. Otherwise, I'll probably just watch the 2024 one and see if that's any different. I'm actually surprised that all of us have decided, or at least all of the ones that are all of us who are watching, all of the ones. No, my apprentices, I would never make you guys seem so small. All of us who decided to watch the anime picked the 2008 version instead of the 2024 version. I feel like it comes as a given that maybe we're all just more comfortable watching older versions of it, or if you feel like there's an original version, maybe it's best to watch that. But it's not like the debate between whether or not you watch Full Metal Alchemist or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. This is just, do you want an updated art style, and do you want things to be presented thematically in a different way, I feel like. But I would be very interested in your opinion on the differences between the different versions. Yeah, exactly. I'll have to see how much I can come up with for that. Admittedly, like, my schedule is mostly packed. I was editing shorts up until stream started, just because I'm watching through. I didn't find like a whole lot of good clips. Sometimes I just get unlucky and I'm watching through my old streams trying to find clips, and I'm just like, I didn't say anything funny this time, and I have to find more content and work out what I can use from there. So I was basically working on it until stream start. I'm old, so I want to watch the old version first, lol. I'm not gonna agree or disagree. I'm just gonna say, yes, I can kind of relate to that. That one was also 12 eps, that was also 12 episodes. I think it's only the, wait, maybe I'm wrong. The 2024 version of Spice and Wolf, right? It's double the length, but it only goes over the first season, doesn't it? Or am I misremembering? Spice and Wolf 2024. I will have to double check, because I know there are 25 episodes, but I can't remember if it encompasses the first 2 seasons, or if it encompasses... No, it only encompasses the first season. Yeah, so Spice and Wolf Season 1 and Season 2 encompasses... Oh, wait. Season 2 is yet to be released for Spice and Wolf. Uh-huh. Okay. I mean, it's 12 episodes compared to 25 of them. Oh, yes. Okay. Sorry, that's my misinterpretation of it. Sorry, Kosan. Yeah, now I get what you mean. Exactly. Yeah, because it would be twice as long in that case. Just make sure it's out of all the times I make you say sussy stuff, Aug, make it a whole story/drama about say so or not say so. I mean... I'm going through really old streams, so all of my interactions in my older streams, I'm actually not as, well, I'm not as tight-lipped or as say-so as I was. I mean, I swear a little bit during some of my older streams, so I cut them all out and everything. Can kinda relate. Okay, you old fart bag. How is the 1300s, you geriatric wizard? Why are you so mean to me? What? Why are you so mean to me? Everybody hates me. The manga came out in 2007, so I guess it's the original, or is there a light novel/web novel? There is a light novel. Light novel, Spice and Wolf. I think that one was published first. Yeah, although the gap between the light novel and the manga was very short. It was like... Oh, apparently it's around 8 months or so, the gap between when the light novel first released and whenever the manga released. So yeah. Not Augustic. Augustic? Yeah. That's, wait! Oh yeah, wait, I should probably boot up RimWorld in the background so that, Okami, you can have the chance to see what it is. But actually, that's what we named the names of people who are a part of our religion. The names of the believers of Augism. They're Augustic. Just because it was funny, I won't time you out. Stop abusing your power, Mr. Brown. How dare you? I didn't teach you to be like this. You're making things out to be so much worse. Wait, really? Lol, I guess I missed that. Yeah, I went over it during one of the streams. Wait, I can... Oh gosh, I need to boot it up in the background. This might take a while. We'll have to see. Let's see. Import mod list stream. And then now while this boots up in the background, we'll still be talking about Spice and Wolf to see how that goes, because usually with the amount of mods I'm loading up, it's like 5 to 10 minutes, depending. So, oh no, I'll end up spending all of my channel points on RimWorld again. Yeah, unfortunate, isn't it? Unfortunate. It is a lot of fun, though. I really do enjoy RimWorld, as well as all of the, like, storytelling that it has. I know Kaya is a little bit annoyed because he's like, I want it to go faster. I want to be an idol already. But I always have to, like, push back. No, this is meant to take weeks or months at this rate. We can't be immediately getting exactly what we want. And you becoming I think instead of vampire, it's called sanguinophage. In RimWorld. That's probably going to take you a long time as well, Helios, because we need to, or well, you guys, but we/me, I need to figure out how to, no, not how to, but rather research the actual technology on how to become one. Because there's a process to it, in RimWorld where you have to discover the technology, because otherwise, if you become a sanguinophage, you'll probably just be in a coma for like years and years until we get the technology to put you in what is called a death rest, so that you can, like, essentially your coffin, so that you can rest properly. Because vampires in RimWorld can't rest, obviously, in a regular room. They need blood, and they need to have a proper coffin set up. But you do get all of the perks of being like a proper vampire in that sense. Yeah, we need some genetic research first so I can extract genes from a vamp and implant it into myself. Yeah, exactly. You need a couple of them. The difference, like, you can always choose to if we get to this point, you can always choose to just implant specific genes that you want, so you could have all of the benefits of being a vampire without having to have any of the downsides of being a vampire. Like, you wouldn't need to do any of the death rest stuff. You wouldn't need to worry about not having enough hemogen, aka blood packs, etc. So some of those things would be more important, depending on that. I don't necessarily need to be a vampire, though, as long as I get, like, Eternal Youth and Undying or something, and increased healing. There are traits like that. Oh, I realized that my stream list didn't properly update. That's a little bit annoying. Wait, did I? Okay. It removed one of my loading mods from it, which might make it load even slower. But yeah, Okami, if you're still around, I'm gonna boot up RimWorld, and we'll do that for like the last, I want to say 40 minutes a stream, depending on how long it takes to boot up, because it's like, it's 200 mods that I have for stream. Some of them are fixes, some of them are like AI improvements, but a lot of them are social stuff. A lot of them are social stuff so that you guys can do things. And I found out that there are commands that you guys can use to interact and annoy each other. Wait, did I write them down? Please tell me that I wrote them down. Oh no, I wrote down other ones. Wait. Let me find. Okay, yeah, here it is. Apparently there is an insult command. So if you really want to, you can insult specific viewers. So you could say something like, I want my pawn to insult this viewer's pawn. And you can you can do that to completely destroy your relations or start arguments between you and other people. But also, I think there is a command to social fights or engage in social fights with other players. So I'm very bullish on the RimWorld over Resident Evil train. You might be, but I don't blame you. The whole point is, like, I want you guys to feel like, oh, I really want Aug to stream this. I really want to be a part of this. I really want to see this happen, etc. You know? I don't so much mind it. I think so long as we have people wanting both things, that's good. That's healthy. It would not be good if no one wanted me to play Resident Evil and I kept doing it anyway. I know there's an extent to it. I know people say this a lot. It's like, oh, don't stream what people want, stream what you want. But I can guarantee right now, I'm doing this to entertain you guys. I want to stream what you guys want me to, because then it lets me make funny commentary and allows me to talk about all of the things in said games, or like with the manga club and everything. You guys recommend stuff that I won't watch normally so that I can talk about it with you. Just become a RimWorld streamer full-time. If I earned full-time from it, I would do it full-time, you know? I would do it. I love the Resident Evil streams, but it does need some breaks in between. I think so. I think it's because I streamed it so much, at least consecutively, that's why it feels like, oh, it's a lot, and it's maybe tiring people out on it. So I don't mind. I don't mind doing a little bit of both. Hello, D6! Welcome! How are you, man? How are you doing, and how was your weekend? We've mostly finished the discussion with Spice and Wolf, but I think, in general, if I look at the round 3 votes, it is unanimous that we continue watching Spice and Wolf Season 2. So I'm very happy to say we'll continue watching Spice and Wolf, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. All in all, I know that we spoke about opinions and everything, but I suppose we can wrap it up while I'm booting up RimWorld in the background and everything as well, to see how that goes. If it doesn't crash and it boots up normally and works just fine. But, what would you rate the first part of it? I'm saying this like as if it's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure or something. Don't mind me falling asleep on those streams. That's just me, lol. I don't blame you, dude. You work a lot. So don't feel like it's something that you have to hold yourself accountable for. It's a-okay. Yee! Yeah. How about 2 days Resident Evil, 2 days RimWorld, 2 days AniManga Club, 1 day... No. No. I stream 6 times a week. So it would be 3 days Resident Evil, 2 days RimWorld, 1 day AniManga Club. But it's more like 2 days Resident Evil, 2 days RimWorld, and then I want 1 day to be like events and so on. It's just difficult finding time to set up events, and I need a little bit more people to participate if I wanted to do some of the events that I have in mind or that I have planned. Because I have some stuff set up. I have some stuff set up for events and the like. So what the yeah. Wachi wa kenro horo ja. You're not Hollow the Wise Wolf, are you? But 1 day is whatever you feel like. Sorry, 1 day AniManga, but 1 day is whatever you feel like. Yeah, that's kind of what I did in the beginning. No, you probably weren't here when I started out. What I used to do was 1 day or 2 days, I would stream basically whatever I wanted, and that was a mix between, what is it called? Slay the Spire, Chaos Zero Nightmare, then I played a little bit of Noita for one stream. Noita. Then I also played... Did I play anything else? I'm not sure. Very base. Played some Death Stranding and rewatched the Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire. Oh man, it's been ages since I've seen that. They're pretty good, aren't they? How'd you like them? Did you enjoy them as much as I remember? Or do they still hold up, by the way? The old Spider-Man movies? I feel like they're kind of underrated in a sense for it. So... very base. Say it right, Mr. Rondel. Oh my gosh. You're the one who spelt it wrong, okay? I will only ever read Hollow's wisest of words correctly. So, no, I came here because I started CZN a few months back. Oh, yes, that's true. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting your origin story, Helios. I'm forgetting your origin story. His girlfriend was a redhead in the Toby version, so I think that's a win for me. Yeah. That's true. But also... wait, you might... no. Okay. You won't notice it just yet, but you'll see in a moment that... okay, well, it's kind of obvious now. I'm booting up RimWorld and it just booted up, so now I have to connect the mods. Toolkit. And then I go to Toolkit, and then I connect. Will this connect? No, it didn't connect. Okay. Now I need to go to chat, maybe. Did it work? It didn't send a message, that's why I'm a little bit confused. Toolkit. Yep, toolkit. Change that. Yeah, they do. I like the charm of the old CGI. Yeah, right? I feel like the old Spider-Man movies have a lot going for them. I feel like it's, well, generally, all of older movies have just so much... I hate the word soul for it. I feel like older movies, when they had bad CGI and whatnot, meant that they had to use a lot more practical effects and everything, and that's what made it feel like there was a lot more to what it is they do. Like, there was a lot more intense. You couldn't just replace everything with CGI. People had to do things a certain way in order to capture it for better performances, more choreography, less jump cuts, etc. So, I don't like MJ, just stick with Black Cat or whatever. Isn't MJ in every Spider-Man movie? Sadly, yes. I just prefer the redhead version. Yeah, I can't really say. I'm not like a huge Spider-Man fan. I just kind of like it. It's just quite interesting. In the movies, I'll pick the Secretariat, the Daily Bugle, or the Landlord's Daughter. I do not remember them whatsoever, but at least you know who you'd pick, D6. And I prefer Black Cat. Majority of my experience with the Spider-Man is in the Marvel Spider-Man games. Oh, the newest ones. Also, special effects on makeup. Oh, I'm not a Spider-Man fan either. Either. Yeah, I feel like with more practical effects in older movies and whatnot, it is a lot more, I don't want to say well done. Like, it just feels a lot more authentic. Like when you had older movies require a whole lot of manual special effects and them setting up props and having to make things more practical so that it would actually work in context of everything, I feel like that's one of the things that made older movies much better when it came to how they perform or record slash decide on choreography slash create slash storyboard the entire movie, you know? Okay, here we go. Loading in. Really? Wait. Drafted. No, I didn't include one of the mods. No. Let's check. Yeah, I didn't include this one. Okay. But that should be fine. I just removed one of the... I added improved AI for combat so that you guys wouldn't just get stabbed like 50,000 times, you know? Okay, load anyway, and then once I've loaded in, I'll share that part of my screen. Also, I can stop sharing the notes. That would probably make sense. And then I need to change the resolution so that you can see it. But yeah, you can see that I've booted up Automaton, and now we can move on to RimWorld. So let's update this. RimWorld. Here we go. Post AniManga Club discussion. RimWorld. Whoa. RimWorld gameplay. I always add that as hyphenated just in case, because we love optimizing for SEO. Okay. Here we go. Oh, wait, I need to change the resolution so you can see everything. I forgot. I have this on my 4K monitor, and it's, you can only see a quarter of the screen as a result. Okay, here we go. Keep. And display. There we go! Also, change category. Successfully updated stream info. Nice. Okay. So, a couple of the things. I think I'll start the Amazing Spider-Man movies, the one with Andrew Garfield. I hope you enjoy them. I don't know which ones those are. Buy Pink. You're immediately gonna buy Ashley? Okay. You did say you would, so here she is. Here's Ashley. Leon! Help me, Leon! Help me, Leon! I remember really liking the first one. I just don't remember any of the stuff that Andrew Garfield did for the Spider-Man movies. It's the ones without Toby. Yeah, well, yeah, I know it's the ones without Toby, doofus. What the heck? Ashley is a pig? Yeah, she is now. She is now. Look, there she is. Someone needs to go get her, though. Oh, yes. And so I remember now, you can do, and I'll type this here. You can do slash, or, sorry, not slash. You can do exclamation mark, insult, and then, Twitch username to do this. And you just replace that with whatever. So that's one. You can insult. I think there was slap. Wait, slap? Slap. And then if I just said, who do I pick? Kayachikawa. Can I do that? No, okay. Slap doesn't work. You can only insult colonists. And then I think it was my pawn work. My pawn work. And I think this should work. Yes, okay. So you can set work priorities, so you can decide. And yeah. Okay, now I need to change how our religion works. So I'm just gonna enable dev mode to set free will is prohibited. No free will allowed. There we go. Now you should be able to. Yes, there we go. Okay, so now everyone will follow work routines or work priorities. So, insult Auger. What? How dare you? Yes. Cosign, your face is like a fist magnet, Mr. Brown. Let's check. Let's check if that worked. Where would it have been? Yes, you did insult him. You did insult him. Okay, now let's check. Where's Mr. Brown? Here. You had... Wait, what was that? What was that? Conversation about what? Wait, what is this? What did you... Why are you bonding with Mr. Brown about this, Kosan? Excuse me? Are we looking at this? Conversation... Conversation about what? Read that. Read that. Oh my gosh. I keep getting recommended Mauschly animated videos on YouTube. The algorithm knows. The algorithm knows. Yeah, you can now see sharing. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I could share a cookie, but yeah, you with you. So, Og, how do I tell my pawn which job to do? Okay, so the way works in this, you can set your pawn priorities. So, my pawn work, and then you would say something like doctor, and then 1 is top priority. So that would set your pawn to focus on being a doctor. And then you guys can set whatever priorities you want for your characters to do. 1 is most important, aka top priority. 4 is low priority, meaning that your pawn will rarely, if ever, do it. And then you can unassign it. So it becomes 0. So you will not do it. Mr. Rondel, can you tell me what skills my pawn has? You can do my pawn skills to see what skills you have, but yes, let's check. You are extremely social. You love shooting. You also do a little bit of mining and a little bit of crafting. Flint and steel. Flint and steel. There you go. Oh my, I do love shooting. Yeah, exactly. See, it's caught on. Also, you are a man. In this, not a doctor? No. No one in this colony is a doctor for whatever reason. Chicken jockey. True. Wait, you guys are just chatting over here. Let's be more... Someone disturbed my sleep. Is Helios telling you off? Helios is like, I just want to sleep better. Can you unman me? Yeah, I can. It's assigned to whatever hair color your chat name is. So, female. And then we probably have to edit appearance. Yeah. So you're now a woman. You can pick one of those. We can take rid of the beard. There we go. What hair? I like orange for the hair. Yeah, thin one. Okay. What hairstyle do you want? There's a whole bunch, and you can eventually change. Wait, let's see. My pawn work, Doctor 1. I'll check in a moment. Front bangs. Okay, so like that. Does that one work? I probably shouldn't have said that. Chicken jockey and shortish hair. I think that one probably works. Yeah, that one works. Okay, cool. We'll do that then. That's perfect. Yes. And now we'll check Helios to see what his priorities are. Here we go. Helios. Handle. You've got... Did you do doctor and you set that to 1? Oh, it didn't set it. Make your pawn bald? No, not the chicken jockey one. Oh, wait. I'll do... Oh, okay. Yeah, I completely missed you saying that. Thank you, I'm so cute now. You're welcome, Kosan. Make your pawn bald. I put it in hunting. Let's see. Oh, I guess I can't be a doctor. No, you still can. Wait, if I put it on 4, can you try applying it now, Helios, and then see if it works if you change it? My bad, I can't delete my own comments. What? You should be able to. You should be able to. I put it in hunting. I think... Wait, maybe I need to change something if you can set work priorities 1, my pawn work. Because it says... oh, wait, maybe you need to do doctor equals 1? Does that work? Okay, because now if I check you, and now if I check work... No, it hasn't changed. Try do equals 1, cleaning equals 1, or doctor equals 1. And I think that should change. Let's see. Yes, there we go. There we go. It updated now. Now you do doctoring as top priority. Cool. Okay, that's how you read the tools and the like. Okay. That worked. My pawn work cleaning equals number 1. Yep. And of course, you can see all of the different ways that or different work types that you have. So if you need a description of anyone yet, can I join a cult yet? I'd like to be religious and start preaching blue flavor. The way that you would have to break off from our religion is if you somehow get converted otherwise. I don't know if there are any commands for you to do that on your own, maybe. But there is a way to do it. If you have a lot of discourse or a lot of feuds with people, then you can eventually form your own clique and therefore colony, which then also would allow you to start your own religion in that case. So you could do that. Cult of the Lamb. What do we lack? Right now, we need chairs at the poker table, so we need people to build. We apparently need batteries. We need someone to begin making clothes. We need someone to take care of cats, because our cat is currently dying. We've got heat stroke as well. We're low on medicine. We're wasting fuel, and we've got an obstructed generator. Oh, I'm panicking. I can't delete any comment. You probably disabled mod view. With social 10, I don't think I can do any of that yet. You can trade with people, but we don't have, like, any hospitality stuff going on. Me, I want hat. Give me the cat. I'll handle it, Mr. Rondel. Then you have to assign yourself as a doctor to try and get some of the stuff to work, because otherwise it just won't. It just won't. I'm in mod view. I can only pin messages. Well, I've not changed anything. I have animal skill 8. We can see Helios. When it comes to animals, I don't think it handles vet stuff. I think, no, it's taming, controlling, and handling animals, but tending to wounds, so you would need medical for it. So, Goop Cat. Oh, okay, there we go. Helios is already on it because he is doctor assigned to 1. So he's focused on it. There we go. See, Helios is doing it. Oh, yeah. you need to change your work priority. That's mine. Yep. You've also got a lot of social in that case. Intellectual shooting is also really high. I'm wondering, okay, we need to add like a tailoring bench, I imagine, so that we can make some... Gosh, where is it? Production. Here we go. We should make a workshop. We need to make a workshop. I'm wondering if this prison is a little bit too big. Was this meant to... No, this was our prison. What was this? Was this the hospital? I think it might have been the hospital. Okay. We need to make a big workshop. Structure, wall. Wait, what wall is this? Yeah, just wooden wall. Okay. So, Kosan should be crafting. She should be crafting. She be mining and she do be crafting. We'll make... Gosh, our storehouse is like right here. It's gonna be a little bit odd, but I think we make like a, oops. We make a crafting house here, approximately, and then we add a door like there and one there. Then we can add one here. And see? So, with those stats, send me to the mines. Well, some of you guys are already mining. Someone's self-harming? Oh, it's the child. Yeah, that's what you get. That's what you get. By the way, can you send a list of all the mods in the Discord so I can Google what I can do? Yeah. I can export a list. Let me see. If I copy this, I want to hunt that rhino. Wait, what rhino? Okay. Are you sure? Are you sure you want to hunt the rhino? Let me tame it. Yeah, I feel like you guys should have more attack things, you know? Because, tame rhino. Oh, I can just click tame. There we go. Tame instead. It has a 30% chance to attack you guys, however. Okay, here we go. No, don't keep that in. We've got... Yeah, here we go. This is my list of mods. Oh! What's this? Rhinoceros... Oh my gosh, it immediately turned on you. Who is it? Silent Scythe is running for his life. Please. Oh my gosh. Wait, he might die. I think he might die. We need some people to help. Solstix is incapable of violence. What do you have on yourself, Mr. Brown? Okay, I can delete my message, but I have to enable mod icons first, then I can delete, which counts as the only way to delete message. That's very tedious. Yeah, it is. Wait, you have no weapons on you. Who's got weapons? Okay, you've got weapons. Send me to kill it. Let me try. Unfortunately, he's maddened now. So, D6, here you are. I need you to attack as well. Auto combat, yep. And then we'll do Helios, auto combat, yep. AI control, yep. What's this? Toggle automatic use, yes. Then, here we go. Audio AI controlled, yes please. Please. Please just get this working. Run, Silent Scythe! I guess I'm sleeping. You are... Oh, you're running away. Oh, wait, you do have a gun as well. Okay, here we go. We're getting rid of this rhino. Oh my gosh. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. Now you guys really need to tend to each other, otherwise you're gonna die. And here we go. I'll post this in the Discord. I'll put it in media. I'll put it in media so you can find it there, Helios. This is my streaming mod list. Heal Helios. I think... Wait, can you even do that? I think you should be able to heal. But I don't know how. So, viewer? You can do wealth. That doesn't help. Mod, maybe? No. Okay. Is there a way to heal via commands? Also, you can apparently do lookup and then action. So if you do lookup, action, you can search stuff. So, oh, action, bolt action rifle. That's probably not what I was meaning. I wanted to know how to look up. But yeah, you can look things up, like look up cat, for instance, and then you can see all the different things with cats in it. Like cat tower. Result for heal. Healing enhancer, mage spell, heal, fighter skill, inner healing, pre-spell, flash heal, tech print, healing factors. Yeah. So if you don't know how something is spelled, you can search it like that, and I think that would work. I do have even though it's called a spellbook mod, it just allows me to see all your skills in one spot instead. Also, it looks like Silent Scythe is bleeding out, and so is Helios. What on earth? Oh, because we don't have med beds, I think. Okay, we need to solve this. Furniture, you guys need to go rest, like, immediately. You really need to go to sleep immediately or rest up. Okay, H for heal. Yeah, here we go. You need a rest, and you need a rest. Someone needs to tend to you guys. Auger, save us! Yeah, I will do. And then... Oh, why is Kaya dying? Kaya's not dying. She's still fine. She's doing stuff. It's Helios and Silent Scythe. You guys are dying. But is anyone... Let's see. Is anyone set to doctor? Kaya is. Okay, Kaya, you should be saving them. Prioritize? Yes. Attack Kaya? Why do you want to attack Kaya? She's the only one trying to save you guys right now. Also, I think... Oh, the rhino's dead. Welp. That's, sucks to suck, I suppose. But at least... Okay. Bleeding out. Yeah, we've still got some hours, so it should be fine. Next time I see a rhino, it's on site. Yeah, look at all the issues that it's causing for you guys. Minor break risk. Kaya's on a minor break risk. Ooh, okay. She's feeling anxious, and that's why. Okay, I'll let her help first, then attack. I wonder if there's even a way. Let's see. Look up. Oh no, we did look up heal. My pawn health? No. Buy traits immunity? No. I'm not sure if there's any, like... I wonder if there's a way for me to make custom commands, like start a social fight or something. Because that would have been pretty funny to do. Okay, there we go. Helios is now okay. Now let's try save. Okay. You know what? We need to save. There we go. 10 Silent Scythe. Because we don't want him to die. Look at his glorious hair! We can't allow him to die! We need to save him. Right about now, Funk Soul Brother. Next time, make me tame it. I have a much higher chance. Yeah, It just auto did that because he has higher priority than you for tasks. If we take a look here and we take a look at handling, I think it is. Yeah, Silent Scythe has put his on 2. And because he is only cooking on 1, he hasn't decided. He hasn't. I can turn this down a bit. He's got 12. Wait, how much do you have? You have 8. He's got higher than you technically. I put my character to clean a lot. Yeah, that's fair because cleanliness is important whenever you have really dirty environments and whatnot. Okay, we're still building our hospital over here. Oh, that's why. Here they are. Okay. Wooden bed, normal. I was wondering where they went. Yeah, for tech prints, those are... Okay, so I'll show what this looks like. For instance, if I check jump pack... Okay, there... Oh. There's the node. There's the node. This require... Wait, that's not it. Okay, let's check the classic view. Jump packs. Yeah, see. So here, with jump packs, for instance, that requires a tech print. So if I ever wanted to research that, I would require the tech print in order to view or unlock that. So unfortunately, even if you have the tech print, it doesn't mean that we can use it until we research it. How is my character doing? We can check. Let's see. Health, you're perfectly fine. You've just got a slightly damaged torso because you've been hit by some arcane power. Because I've got a magic mod installed. But yeah, otherwise you seem pretty A-okay. Let's see, what's happening? Oh, Silent Scythe is tending to himself. No, continue tending to yourself. Continue tending. I don't want you to die. Stop bleeding out. I feel like... Oh, this is going to be so difficult to micromanage in the beginning. The beginning is always the hardest part because you've got, like, no foundations for when or how to get things to work. Like, no one's doing plant cutting right now, so we've got completely obstructed stuff here. By fighter skill, inner healing. Wait, let's see. Look up healing. Or heal. Healer... Oh, is it because it's caps sensitive or case sensitive? Buy and then try the colony. Oh, okay, yeah. It's case sensitive. Apparently, that's why Helios. It wasn't working. I can't believe it. Hey, look, we got some chem fuel from who was this? Oh, me. I made you guys chem fuel, I guess. What are we? Plant cutting too. Yeah. Because we're not generating any wind energy. I suppose it's okay, but what the dog doing? The dog is eating the rice. Oh, that's Kaya. Yeah, that makes sense. Is 4 better than 2? It's the list of priorities. So 1 means high priority, and 4 means low priority, and then I think you can set 0 to not do it at all. So 2 means that it's your second highest priority. So if we check UD6 here, you set your plant cutting to 2, which means you've got plant cut. Yeah, here 2. So that means that you've got it as high priority. It's not top priority, but it is high priority. Let's see. Medical treatment needed. Silent Scythe is still tending to himself. Oh, his kidney is dead. Oh no, he's got a prosthetic kidney. Let's see. And here, D6 just cleaning the blood. Yep, that's that solved. Fair enough, fair enough. Okay, we probably need some lights in the hospital, however. Let's do that. And that looks like it covers the whole place. No, it's missing this corner over here. Whatever. Was my character good at to change priorities? Your character is good at, has the passion for crafting, social, shooting, and the color here just means that you studied a bit of plants today. It goes from green to red. Yeah, and now since it's a new day, it resets. So yeah, you're most best at crafting, shooting, and social. But you don't really have, like, any strong passions for anything. Actually, a lot of you guys don't. Solstix has a really high passion for plants. Helios, you have a high passion for animals. Kosan has a really high passion for social, some crafting, some mining, some shooting. D6, social, crafting, and shooting. Kaya, basically just sociable and crafting. So, okay. Now let's see. We've got a whole bunch of animals, though. We should probably assign them a sleeping spot somewhere. I think once we have a couple more... Let's see. Furniture, I think it should be in. And then we have animal sleeping spot? Yeah, here we go. We'll make them sleep outside. We'll have them sleep in between here. Very cool. Animal needs rescue? Nyan the cat? Wait, why? Bleeding out? Wait, what? Why? Okay. Well, how come? What if I have multiple at the same level? Well, you'll learn. You just pick whichever ones you want to do according to the situation. Because this, I'll give you an idea of this. This kind of playthrough for a RimWorld colony can take hundreds of hours. So if we're playing 2 hours each time, or an extra half an hour on weekends, or Sunday specifically, that's like, oh gosh, Silent Scythe is downed. Why? And no one's trying to pick him up. Okay, can you help your son? Can you help your son? Kaya, can you save the cats? Tending to. There we go. Yeah, so just keep in mind that it'll be more like a couple hundred hours, so you'll eventually learn a lot. You'll learn a lot of the skills. It's just easier to level up the things that you have passions for. That's basically what it means. But otherwise, you should still do some of everything. Otherwise, you end up being super focused on one thing. A lot of you guys are really into childcare and really into social skills. We've got no one who's good at doctoring. Okay. What's the medical efficacy of this room? Oh, I mean, I guess it's something. What about this? Yeah, that's kind of bad. Lol. No, I hate them kids. Well, let's see. You are currently assigned to do some childcare, Mr. Brown. So, actually, you don't. You do like kids. It's written right here. It's your high priority. Medical emergency? Yeah, Kaya's on it. Animal needs rescue? Yeah, Kaya's on it. Damn! Yeah, exactly. It's in your blood. It is. It's in his blood. How do I reach these kids? How do I reach these kids? Please, can we, Yeah, well, I'm gonna speed it up quite a bit. I just want them to to save everyone and just continue. We need to make some progress, right? Disease infection? Helios has gotten an infection? Uh-oh. But you do have super immune. It's just someone needs to tend to you, but everyone is sleeping. Oh my gosh. Is he really the only one? Kaya's like the only one. Let us sleep, bro. Yeah, but wait, where'd Helios go? Oh, here. He's, come on. Send me? Okay. Well, your medical skill is super low, but yeah. Do that. Tend to Helios without medicine. Here we go. Let's try to do that. Where did I even get an infection from? The only one with super immune? You, got an infection from one of the bite marks, I think. Let's see. Yeah, torso bites from the rhinoceros. The rhinoceros bit you and it gave you an infection. Yeah, the beginning is really rough. The beginning is very, very rough. They bite? Apparently. Apparently. Silent Scythe needs treatment? Why, what's he got now? Oh, he's got minor heat stroke. Okay. Please. This is good news. We can finally be bees. Mark, we can finally be bees. This is great news. We do have some hemogen packs at least, so I guess we can try give someone some blood. Some of you guys are really low on blood. Some of you guys are still malnourished, but none of you are like eating food. We run and 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 we run. True. Mark, we can be bees. Finally, Mark, we can be bees. This is great news. We can be bees. Sea salt. Why am I not moving? Let's see. You're cleaning, that's why. You were cleaning some of the bedpans. So lonely. True, true. See. Oh, no water. Gosh, it feels like I don't really get the hygiene system. I've not really used it a whole lot. What is that meme even? It's just like random bits from Invincible. Yan is already... What? From what? Oh, okay. Oh, she's pregnant. Oh, okay. That's why. I was gonna say that maybe we should give blood packs, but we can't. Oh. I just realized what that was. Invincible? Yeah, it's just invincible. Helios praised Kaya's social skills. D6 and Silence have connected over their beliefs in Auger's cult. Yeah, I suppose you did. I mean, what else are you gonna talk about? Like, well, look at this situation we're in. We've got Helios with an infection. Oh wait, you... Major infection? I'm very worried that you might not make it out of this, Helios. I seriously think that you need to be resting. Please don't do anything else or you might actually die. My liege. Yes, what is it, D6? How may I be of service to you? Need a research bench? Yeah, but okay. Now with you resting, hopefully you should be able to build up immunity faster. I hope. Yeah, you're slightly catching up on it, but oh gosh, this can be tended to in 1 hour. Okay, Kaya's gonna have to be our doctor for now. Let's see. We'll put Kaya up to doctoring at 1. Fighter skill, inner healing. Unfortunately, you do not have the proficiency or the aptitude to become a fighter. So, even if I gave you that skill or you bought that, you wouldn't be able to. Also, we don't have advanced scribing, yeah. Let me add myself. You have to do buy pawn. So buy pawn, and then you can. Oh, I forgot. I forgot to add ways to convert more channel points into silver. My bad. I'll do that next time. So points to cash. It does 500. It's however many points it is. The reason it asks you for the typing is because the mod needs the UUID. Wait, let me double check. Did it do it? Toolkit. Here? No. Twitch toolkit? No. Channel points? Okay. Here we go. Now it should be. Well, I'm dying. All my points gone? No, you should be fine. I've put you in the hospital bed. I'm not sure why it didn't buy. Try do exclamation mark Bal? Yeah. Okay, and then try again, Virgil. No, you should be fine. You're beating it, I think. You're beating it. Hopefully. It's just like, it's slightly faster, or it's slightly slower. Oh gosh. D6, I think you need to clean this hospital so that we can lower the risk of infection. Okay, seriously? Get up. He's beating it. I hope so. Helios, you can't die. You can't die here. It showed me for a sec. Yes, I think. Buy pawn? Wait, where am I? Wait, what was it? What was the command to buy a pawn? What was the command, guys? Virtual can't buy a pawn. Let's see. I'm checking the index. Oh, it's 2 words. Sorry, it's buy pawn. That's what it is. Okay, it's the same for buying items. You have to do 2 separate words. That's my bad. There we go. Now Virgil is joined. Here you are. You are. What? Okay, you are completely focused on shooting and melee. Oh my gosh. And then you're also really into plants. Yet still, you're incapable of medical. You're also a pride stalker? Bow and magic. Wait, you have a class already. Yeah, you are a, okay, you're like somewhat of a ranger or beastmaster from D&D. Oh my gosh. Okay, you spawned with a class. He's Virgiling it. He really is. You can polymorph someone, or you can shapeshift minorly, or pride bond. Instantly attempt to train it and bond it. Casting it on an already tamed creature causes it to directly bond. Ooh. Okay. But I need to check on Helios before he dies. I'm guessing the reason Virgil is the only one who joined is after you added the mod? No. See here. Wait. Who had it? Who had it? Yeah, here we go. D6 has physically adept, which means that he can go into a like warrior class or a physical adept class. But yeah, no one else got it. No one else spawned with a class. But you can get classes, so that's fine. You just have to get the research for it. Also, I think you're gonna die. If this... Okay, Kaya, please save him. Kaya, please save him. Yeah, furry tree hugger? Oh my gosh. Yeah, Virtual Solstick. Also, welcome, Solsticks. Cornelius Maximus the Third. Well, I suppose. Also, you can buy a pet that you want to bond with, I suppose. Oh gosh. I'm willing to cheat right now to remove this infection from you, Helios, because you shouldn't be dying this early on. We're just gonna bad hygiene moderate. Oh, maybe that's why. Maybe. Oh, whoops. Oh, whoa, how did that happen? Whoa, he saved. He no longer, oh, whoa. He no longer has, you can search with lookup and then like bird or something, I think, like that. We don't have showers. We do have showers. It's just that you've been stuck in your hospital bed this entire time. Also, we don't have water, but we do have the steel water tub. Not a part of the shower gang. Yeah. No one's chopping down any trees, I'm noticing. We need more wood. We need more wood. Let's cut down some trees. Let's cut these down. And let's just cut all of these down as well. By dog. I think you have to be specific with breed. For whatever reason, they've just got cats. But they have like Yorkshire Terrier, Golden Retriever, Labrador, etc. So you've purchased a cat. What do you want to name your cat, Virgil? Put me to work. He's sleeping too much. You can decrease that. If you go to basic, see? Here it's oh wait. Is it basic? I thought it was basic, that wasn't. There should be one that tells you to prioritize whether or not you focus on getting sleep, eating food, etc. So, deforestation? Yeah. Basically, yeah, Labrador Retriever. It's very cool. Oh, I accidentally hit spacebar. But you can also set priority. I thought it was basic, and that was what decided whether or not you go to sleep. Drain water, flick sewage, loot objects, open containers, eat meal. Yeah, why is eating a meal a part of your priorities? I guess if you select basic tasks here, it will also include sleeping, I think. Also, chaos is one of my commands, Virgil. That's not a part of the game. What do you want to name your cat, by the way? And do you want to bond to it? Do you want to use your, whatever it's called, pride bond to bond to the cat? Otherwise, it's just going to be called Albert Whiskers. That's a great name, Albert Whiskers. That's a really good name, dude. Oh my gosh, yeah, Albert Whiskers. There we go. And now Kaya's just doing her doctor things. She's become the impromptu doctor as a result of Helios being out of commission. Or D6. Wait, did D6 have medical? Oh, he had some. 7. 7 fish is all I need. Meow. True. Here we go. Oh my gosh, Solstix is really going at it. He's really chopping down all the trees. Catnip. True, true. Let's get rid of the stumps as well so the trees don't grow back. I really don't want more trees. Do characters level up on their own? Yeah, they do. So the more you do something, it's like Skyrim. The more you do one particular activity, the better your pawn will get at it. So for instance, with you here, you've been cutting down a lot of stuff. So you can see, I can't move my mouse and show you on the thing, but you can see progress to next learned level. The more you do it, the faster you'll level up at it. And because you've got no passion, your learning speed is at 38%. You've got a base value of 100%, then if you have no passion, it goes down to 35, but then you also have a very, very diligent student, which gave you a plus 30, but you are physically adept, which means that you're not good with smarts. So, bro, I'm hungry. Yeah. You need to increase your basic then. As said, if you want to focus on, like, getting enough sleep, going to work, and eating food, then you need to increase your basic, and everyone can do that. So, who wanted to start a cult again? Ko-san wanted to start a cult again.
Leon, you need to continue the Redfield bloodline, Leon!
Yep. Is the smart points any useful? I have like 8. Do you mean intelligent or intellectual? Yes. Intellectual is important. Because that's how we discover new things, but we need more wood and whatnot so that we can focus on building places. But I need to build a workshop right now, and then we need to build a laboratory. So we're going to add floor here as well. Supports heavy. Okay. Well, we're going to add, I guess, a bridge, I suppose. Hi, cult where? Helios was talking about a cult. He wanted to start one. The blue flavor cult. I wanna raid to shoot things. You can always hunt instead. There's one dedicated to hunting, and you can practice your shooting via that if you want. Good night. Take care, Virgil. Good night. Good night. It's been 2 hours. Oh! Indeed, it has. You know, if you hadn't reminded me, I might have actually kept on going. Well. You can buy a trait called Occultist and apparently perform occult teachings. There are quite a few different things, but yeah. There are quite a few. Hunting what? Anything on the map. So, there are a whole bunch of rhinos. Alpacas. There's also a bunny girl. There's cassowaries, tortoises, there's chinchillas, and there are the monkeys. The monkeys. Oh, that's so neat. I want. You have to buy the traits then. You can buy a trait. It's on site. Yeah, exactly. Just have to pick out the ones that you want and then I'll assign you. So if you set your hunting task, command please. I think it's, was it buy trait? I should make like a list and then pin it on screen. But it's like buy trait, I think. And then occultist. Maybe. Look up occult. Let's see. Oh, nothing comes up. Maybe. Are you sure that was one of the mods that I had included, or are you seeing other mods, Helios? But yeah. Traits? No name, but the name of traits could be found. Okay. But I don't know. I'm just on the wiki. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. No cult. No one by the name of occultist. Unfortunate. However, that is also the end of stream today. I know we were getting into it. But I assure you, there will be more of this on Wednesdays. And what do you guys think about Fridays? How do you feel about Fridays? I could do maybe a little bit of a longer RimWorld stream on Fridays in that case. And then, of course, we've got the extra time on Sundays like today, where we play through a little bit of RimWorld as well. But I think that about wraps it up. As for schedule, yeah. Monday, Tuesday, Resident Evil. Wednesday, RimWorld. Thursday will also be Resident Evil. Then Friday, we can do a little bit of a longer session, maybe, of RimWorld. And then we've got the break on Saturday. And then we've got Sunday, which is, well, today with the AniManga Club. But otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. What did you guys think of the AniManga discussion? We're going to be continuing with the second season, by the way, so that third round is closed, and then once we're finished with Spice and Wolf's second season, we'll continue. Didn't you play all the series when picking Resident Evil? Yes. Didn't I know? What do you mean? Sorry, maybe I'm just misinterpreting. Let's go, more Spice and Wolf. Yes, more Spice and Wolf. More Spice and Wolf, indeed. I'm really excited to be watching or reading through maybe the second season of Spice and Wolf. I'll be watching it, of course, but I don't know if I'll be reading it. Otherwise, yeah, I do play through the entire Resident Evil series, but that's exactly why we're doing we're doing 3 episodes of it per week, as opposed to the standard 4 or 5 that I was doing previously. Didn't know you played all of the series when picking Resident Evil. I just assumed it was 1 or 2. No, I play through the entire franchise whenever you guys recommend me something. Just because I feel like I want to know, and I'm never going to have the chance to play through all of it again, so I may as well, you know? I don't think any of us are all that excited about the superhero genre. I'm actually excited for Tiger and Bunny. I'm very curious because I feel like that would be something that's interesting to me, and I wanna see what it's about because I've heard it get a lot of praises for it. Lol, yeah, I did that as well. Mod Mr. Wizard, I banned one bot. Yeah, I saw you banned it. It shows up in my chat because I have the ability to see it, and I deleted my own message. Yes, that's why I put Madoka. Yeah, if you want to suggest that I only play or watch one thing, that's perfectly fine. It's not like if you suggest me playing through Dark Souls, then I'll play the entire Dark Souls series. If you write something like just Dark Souls 1 or Dark Souls 2, then I'll know that you guys are recommending a specific game in the franchise. But I was asking for franchise games because I wanted to play through the entire franchise of Resident Evil, for instance. Besides gacha games, do you play other things in free time? Yeah. I play a lot of stuff, actually, but I play Mortal Sin, I play RimWorld, I play Star Sector, I play Ellen, or aka Eternal League of Nephia, which was basically the prequel to Alona Plus. Then I played, oh gosh, Slay the Spire. What else have I played recently? I think I played some Halo from the Master Chief Collection not too long ago. I play I do play RimWorld, but I also play Risk of Rain 2. Then I also play Dragon's Dogma a whole lot. So I play a lot of different games, but as of late, I've basically been playing RimWorld the entire time in my free time. I've got a single player save going on, and I'm like 80 hours in or something like that now. So I love the game to bits. It's been so long that I forgot most of it. BioShock. All of them. Yeah. Maybe. We'll see how scared I am. Next poll, I'm suggesting Lollipop Chainsaw or No More Heroes. Yeah, those could be quite interesting. Ellen, good taste. Wait, you know Ellen too? Dude, I don't think I've ever met someone that actually knows about Ellen. Ellen is such a great game. I tried to put in, like, I don't know, a couple of hours every month or so because he's still releasing updates, but I got it when it first came out. I love Ellen so much. It is such a crazy good game. It's so underrated. Alona Plus was also really good. It didn't get the love that it deserved, but it was also like slightly abandoned, hence why the Plus then forked off into custom NG Plus and so on. But yeah, Alona is really good. I better start No More Heroes first. I want to play that for myself. Well, maybe. Unless I get to it first. But that'll have to be for next time. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Wait, I'm disappearing.